This is episode 1 of the Meltdown podcast with me, Sid Sagar. Today's guest is Paul Jason Hipolito, frontman of Afterburner and Skullcrusher. Okay, so now it's officially recording.
All
So
right.
the okay, let's start with this. So give me a bit of like background. How
hmm
do you get started? And what is it that you do as a day job? How do you
hmm
balance the two? Because I know you have two bands
Yeah.
plus a day job. So how do you find that balance?
Okay. So first, my name is Paul. I'm a vocalist of Skullcrusher and Afterburner.
Mhm.
So at daytime, I'm working as a animal trainer here in Dubai Safari. So it should be like we have the for banding. We have plans for like every weekend should have rehearsal.
Mhm.
But cannot because some of my bandmates have different schedule.
Understood.
So yeah, what we did is home practice, and then like if we have gigs, like, maybe 2 weeks before going to have a rehearsal, then
Um,
something like
Understood.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll do
So
practice and then.
yeah, for me it's not really a big deal, but two bands, it's like you're having two girlfriends.
Yeah,
It's hard to give time,
yeah,
but can manage. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I wanted to ask, like, how did your journey with metal start? When did you
Okay.
decide that you wanted to, you know, get into a
mm
genre like this and
mm
maybe go from playing guitar to vocals and
mm.
doing both together?
So
How?
as far as kind of I remember, I was like 6 years old when I was like listening to pop music in the Philippines.
Mm,
So I was like singing, like music like Boys to Men, something like that.
yeah.
Because there's this artist in the Philippines. So my cousin was like, "Hey, Jason," they call me Jason. "Come here, cassette tape they gave me. Listen to this." So in the cassette tape, it says, "Welcome to the jungle." So when I heard that, that's where it started. Like I've heard the music of Guns N' Roses. I was like amazed. I was like, "What the hell is this? So loud, but I like it."
Yeah.
I'm starting to like singing like Axl Rose, and then there's this poster of Guns N' Roses. There's Slash holding a Gibson guitar, and I was like, "Oh, I want to play a guitar." So then my cousins are like, when they're drinking, they're playing a guitar, playing Guns N' Roses, Poison, Skid Row. So I was there like for for the whole time watching them. And then when they're not using the guitar, I took it and playing, but I don't know how.
Mm,
So I told my dad that I want to play a guitar. Then weeks later, my dad brought me a guitar. It's a Yamaha, something like that. So I was like, uh, wake up so early, like 5 in the morning, to play that guitar. But I don't know how. I don't have any idea how to tune it. You know. So at that time, the string broke. I'm so scared.
yeah, yeah.
Then I told my dad that the guitar is broken. He just laughed and okay, we will buy a new string. And there's this old man in front of our house that playing music.
Mhm.
He taught me how to tune the guitar, every chords. If I did some mistake, he will what you call that? It's a bamboo stick. He will hit my fingers. So that time I started to learn how to play guitar. And then, far as I can remember, there's this Scorpion live cassette tape. I played it on our cassette player. Then, like, I'm going to play a guitar with a broom, you know. Then pretending that I'm in front of millions of people, you know. So yeah, and that time I my dream is to have a band to play in front of people. So I never imagined that I can sing, you know, because during my college days, I'm eager to play guitar. So when I heard the band like Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, at first I was so scared. It's like, oh, it's a satanic music. I don't like it. But my told me that, oh, it's good, bro. It's heavy. Try it. No, but the first heavy band that I've heard when I was like 13 years old is Slayer. No? So later part, I've heard that there's this Pantera.
Hmm.
You know, the first album I've heard is the Far Beyond Driven. I was so scared when I saw Dimebag because he looked like with a red beard, like a
Yeah,
demon or something. So I was like, oh, maybe this guy's a drug addict, something like that. But I never, imagined that he could be my
idol.
guitar hero.
Yeah,
So yeah, and during college days, I don't have any colleagues that play death metal or thrash metal. So it's like year 2000, early 2000, you know, it's new metal era. So my classmates during that time was like they want to play Corn or Limp Bizkit or
yeah,
Deftones.
true.
So they asked me, "Can you sing?" Maybe. So I tried. So we covered Corn, Deftones. Then after a year, I met some guys that played death metal, thrash metal. Then they asked me, "Can you play guitar?" Yes, I would love to. Then so I started to play, cover the song 6 Feet Under, Cannibal Corpse, Obituary. So that's the start. Yeah.
No, for me, it was quite
Uh-huh.
the opposite because I, when I was getting into metal,
Uh-huh.
I actually came, instead of going from the old school thrash,
Mm-hmm.
all of that, I came from a very melodic death metal side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Going to.
like for me, the first band I heard that I actually got interested in was
Uh-huh.
actually Arch Enemy.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I came from that side and then started exploring the older stuff like
Mm-hmm.
Creator, uh, then Metallica,
Uh-huh.
Megadeth, all of them, even Hammerfall, and a
Uh-huh.
couple of other thrash bands.
Yeah.
That's how I went. So I went backwards.
But it's fine, at least.
Yeah,
No, I remember my dad when I played because uh what you call this? They gave me money, a small amount of money, going to school, It's like 10 pesos. How much is 10 pesos in dirhams? Like 1 dirham? 1 dirham, you
yeah,
know?
pay that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what I did is I saved the money, and if because the cassette tape is like 10 how much? Like 10 dirhams, something like that. So if I save money and I will like bought cassette tapes. So I saw this divine intervention, you know. Then I played it, then I was shocked, The first track is Killing Fields.
yeah,
Then when my father heard Araya scream, he was
mhm.
like, "Why are you listening with that music? No?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you going to war?" He was like that. So I was like, I like it. And then they get used to my music.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in my house, okay, my mom and dad are still not used to it,
Uh-huh.
and like for me,
Until now?
yeah, yeah,
Really?
when I started getting into
Mm-hmm.
metal, and I showed my dad Angel of Death,
Mm.
and I showed him Raining Blood and all of
Yeah.
that. He liked the instrument, but then when it came
But
to Araya's voice, he's like, "This is meant for animals," and I'm
yeah,
like, "Hmm,
same.
no."
And then
And then once I started getting into the heavier stuff, like your
mm,
Cannibal Corpse,
yeah.
Devourment, all that sort of stuff. Then my dad was like, "Yeah, no, you do you. I will listen to my old
Mm-hmm.
school Hindi music and all of
Yeah.
that." And I was like, "Okay." And yeah, I mean, when I used to come to gigs, because
Mm-hmm.
had I not known Vinod, I would have not known that there is a scene, you know.
Yeah.
And when I started coming to gigs, I remember that Skull Crusher was actually one of the
Mm-hmm.
first bands I saw properly, because
Mm-hmm.
um, his gigs and the gigs run by Metal East were actually the
Yeah.
ones that I had started coming to. Otherwise, the first gig that I had gone to was way back uh, when Iron Maiden came.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What year?
I think they came in 2011 or something
Oh.
like that. That was like when actually realized that, oh, gigs do happen here, because
Mm-hmm.
they weren't in the papers. There was nowhere where I could see that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
there are gigs going on here. So until I got in the Facebook group and the WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
then I was like, there is a scene, but it is hidden.
Mm-hmm.
you know and then when I saw you guys live for the first time, I remember it was the Gutslit gig, not
Yeah.
this
That's it.
one, the
Yeah.
first one.
The first.
And that was at
Mm-hmm.
23rd Street. So that was
Yeah.
when I saw you guys the first time. And I remember you were one of the few frontmen who knew how to handle a crowd, you know, and really like ramp them up, because you were joining in with the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
able to direct them the way you want so that
Yeah.
they could have fun. And
Actually, the reason that I was, like joining the crowd is I'm a shy person. I
yeah,
don't want to be at the stage. I don't want people staring at me because I don't know.
yeah, of,
I'm not comfortable. So what I did, go to the crowd, you know, blend so that yeah.
no, but I'll tell you one thing, because I'm watching you perform,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my friends also who come with me to gigs.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've been told many times, especially by people who have been coming to Vinod's gigs for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them who've gotten close to me have always said that, Jason always puts on a good show,
Mm-hmm.
because
Thank you.
he's in the crowd with
Yeah.
us. So that's nice. Otherwise, uh, the other bands are usually quite static.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to name any
But
names.
it felt so good, when
Yeah,
you're with the crowd,
of
like
course.
doing some march,
Yeah, of course, because like at the end of the day, you're performing for them. So when you join them, it
Yeah.
it puts you in a good, thing.
It's like I'm getting to know each other. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we're both in the mosh pit, like, you
yeah,
know,
yeah. And like for me also, um, barring what happened in the last gig, I
mm,
finished your set and then went in the ambulance. Yeah,
really?
yeah. Like because I fell in your set, I
Yeah.
finished your set and then went in the ambulance. So because I wanted to see that energy, and I'll tell you, for the amount of time that I had sat down,
Hmm.
that that energy was so palpable that it was
Hmm.
actually, I actually forgot that there was pain there. So it was nice. It was good. And oh, so a few other things that I wanted to ask
Mm-hmm.
because I sent you the questions. Um, so one of the things I wanted to ask was actually, so like, since we're on the topic of you performing live,
Yeah.
based on how many shows you all do, either as Afterburner or as Skull
Skull
Crusher,
Crusher.
have has there ever been any times where you have probably wanted to stop the gig because there's been an incident and you feel like you need to be protective of people who might have been injured or something, unfortunate that has happened during the gig that you were performing?
Yeah. The first time was in Albarsha,
Mm-hmm.
Oak Bar. So I'm
Oh,
I'm playing with Skull Crusher that time. So I think that's our last song. You know, in the middle of the song, uh, there were fights. You know, I saw someone like they grabbed this guy, blah blah blah. So everything is blurry because we're performing. So I was like, wait, stop, 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 stop. So, but I don't think that my band heard me because we're like still playing. But I ran towards those guys and stop. What happened? What happened? And they said, yeah, continue, continue. No worries, no worries. Because especially the last time in what bar is that?
in Barbar?
Bar, if you can remember that.
Hmm.
So there's injury, right? I was like, I'm worried.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because what if that happens to me? You know,
Agree.
and I felt guilty because it's in our set when it's happened. I was like, wait, stop, stop. But I don't think if my bandmates can still heard me because they were like continuing.
Yeah, yeah. True.
So that after our set, like, how are you? Are you fine? You know, I check it because I felt so guilty.
Hmm.
So I think it happens because of us. You know?
No, it's nothing like that. I mean, you and I have been to enough gigs to
Uh-huh.
understand how the mosh works. People,
Yeah.
they get hyped, and then once even the booze hits, then
Mm,
everybody's like, it's time to party. you
mm,
know. And for us, I always look at moshing as our way of dancing.
yeah.
I mean, in metal, it's one of the ways you get down. And that's why for me, even after the injury, I
Mm,
I still hold that gig in high regard because even for the small amount of time that I was there, it was really
mm,
fun. And for me, one of the big things was I had actually brought my friend who's never been to a concert in his
mm.
life.
That's his first time.
Yeah, so I wanted him to
Uh-huh.
experience the gig and get the vibes and things. And
Mm,
lucky for me, he enjoyed the little time that he was there. And now he said that for Reset, the
mm-hmm.
gig that Vin announced, he's definitely coming again.
Really?
Yeah. So I for me, I enjoy when the people I bring along
Mm,
enjoy as well. Like I have for Vin's gigs or for Metal East
yeah.
gigs, I have bought many people who don't necessarily associate themselves with metal, and I've
Mm,
told them that go and mosh, go enjoy yourself, because at the end of the day, you've paid for this
yeah.
experience. So go,
Yeah. It's the experience.
and they come back like, we want to go to more of these. I was like, of course, you know. And one of those contributing factors, of course, is your band as well, because of the
Mm,
live show that you put on.
thank you. This last gig, I
Yeah,
saw a lot of new faces.
yeah. I mean, I was. a bit surprised after I heard about the whole, passport
Mm.
thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it was so close to the time. But the
True.
fact that every other band showed up and still managed to help the guy put on a good show
Mm.
says a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and it, I mean, from what I could see on other people's stories, it was a lot of fun,
Mm.
because that's how I saw the other gig as well afterwards on other people's stories, and it seemed a lot of fun. The
Yeah.
guy, from what I could understand, when the guy from 7H Target did Baby Killer,
Mm. With abysmality.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Yeah," because that was, I think that song is something that a Beast Melody does quite a few
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
you know, either with their own vocalist or with someone else. But that was fun. And the one I had a few other questions I wanted to ask you
Mm.
actually. 1 second.
Sure. Sure.
So, like, um, are besides doing the covers, do you actually plan on writing new material for either band?
Uh, for Afterburner, actually,
Mhm.
we have like seven, I think 7 or 8 songs now. We're continually writing. When we're playing, we just like have had one cover, you know, and all that we're playing are originals. So uh, it's on process. The
Mhm.
thing is, we are still planning where to record, you know. Yeah, because some are expensive,
Yes, 100%.
yeah, money. But
Yeah.
now we're trying to like do it DIY.
Mm.
But for
But
me, much better is a real studio.
mm, mm. But like, walk me through your writing process. Like, do you all record
Hmm.
as when you all are doing your tracking and
Hmm.
recording? Do you all record together in the same room, or everybody does their own parts and then you all just get it mixed?
Uh, it depends on the schedule, but mostly we record it like separately. For me, I'm doing the some of the guitar tracks here,
Hmm.
and vocal tracks. But if, for example, like one of the guitarists in Afterburner, like we're doing the guitar tracking in his place. So Tentoy or Naji, the bass guitars, we all go the same time. Then we try to like fix and mix some of the record, but mostly separate. And then we're going to send it but through we transfer.
Hmm.
Then can you like check this out, blah blah blah. Then going to the studio, we'll try to like um, change, whatever it is, something like that.
Hmm.
So same with Skull Crusher.
But like, do you all want to go straight to writing an LP, or do you want to write an EP first?
For Afterburner, the first plan is EP. Excuse me. But we're planning to release 2 songs that's already finished, but I don't know what happened. Maybe I don't know, next month or next few months. It's taking long time because of the schedule.
Hmm.
For Skullcrusher, we have like 4 or 5 songs already, and they have these two old songs that I'll be like doing the vocal track.
Hmm.
They had this previous vocalist who did the song, so they want to change.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. But tell me something. When you all are writing,
Hmm.
okay, especially in terms of lyricism, what
Hmm.
what is your main influence? Like, for example, how it could be politics, horror movie,
Ah, okay.
all that sort of stuff. So, what themes do you prefer to go with for either band? Are they relatively the same, or you
It
tend to keep them both in different?
it depends. For Afterburner, like this last song, not last. We have this new song entitled "Kick Them Out."
Hmm.
So the riffs and the title came from Ron, one of the guitarists. So he will just, Paul, check this out. I want the title of the song, "Kick Them Out." So I'm going to like think what's the like you know, but it sounds like politics. The lyrics, kick them out. So it's like the people who's sitting on power, like,
Mhm.
you know, like kick them out, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
makes.
then mostly I'm uh, making the riffs. So the lyrics, the melodies on the later part. So if I'm already finished with the riffs, that's the time I'm going to think what song or what lyrics, what melody should I put it into.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
mostly political or self what you call that, like
No, I got the idea. I got the idea. But when you're writing your political lyrics,
mm,
how now everything is quite vogue. Yeah.
mm,
So how do you approach that so that it becomes a, a thing where people are not as offended? Understand? Because we live in a time now where everybody has issues with every single thing
yeah, yeah.
written, you
Yeah,
know?
for me, I don't care.
Mm.
I will sing what I want to sing. I will write what I want to write. It's my.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care. Like if you're offended, so it's up to you. You know,
Mm.
I will express what I want to.
Mhm.
Something like that. Like in Afterburner, we have this song called Gago. You know,
Mm.
I wrote it in Tagalog,
Yeah.
Filipino language, but there's a English version. So the song is about, actually it's about one of my workmate.
Mhm.
You know, he's an asshole. So yeah, yeah. So the song is all about him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, another question I actually wanted to ask y'all is,
Mm,
you know, s- since y'all both these bands, I think, are primarily thrash, right?
mm,
But when y'all write, do y'all primarily like stick to just thrash, or do y'all try and blend other influences that maybe each of y'all have into the riffs or into the drum
mm.
patterns and things like that? So, like, for example, say your songs are long, do you, when you do a solo or when you do an interlude, does another influence blend into that, or it stays thrash all the time?
Yeah. Actually, if you can hear my Afterburner song,
Hmm.
you can identify whose riff is that. Trashy, like speed, it's Ron because
Hmm.
he was like trash metal guy. But my riffs are like there's a groove, you know,
Ah,
like sounds like Missile Index or Dying Fetus kind of feel.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like I have many influences like punk rock, you know, thrash metal, death metal. So I mix it up, and then yeah, something like that. You can hear it.
Ah. Yeah, because like what usually tends to happen with a lot of thrash bands is
Mm,
they once they find a style, they tend to stick to it,
mm,
you know, and you do one record of that, you do another record of that,
mm,
and then by the third record, it starts becoming a bit stale.
mm.
So my next question actually was, since y'all perform live and also are able to see how this scene over here is progressing, do you feel that the scene could ever become stale? Do you feel that the scene is progressing towards something that is one note, or do you see bands such as yourselves maybe trying to push the envelope little by little so that the UAE scene itself has its own distinct identity?
Actually, what I have seen here in Dubai, kudos to Vinod, not he's not sticking on one genre, you know, all metal, but not like always brutal death metal or always thrash metal. It's mixed
Hmm.
because it's like you're, you know, eating banana every day.
Yeah.
It's not good. You should like try apple or grapes, something like that. You know what I'm saying. It's better to people like they can hear new things, new music. If every month, every year, every day, this thrash metal, it's not good. Yeah, you know, it, it depends on the people who's listening, so that different people will go to the gig, you know, because they have this favorite band, they have this favorite band.
True. True. The other things I wanted to actually ask was, like, for example, are there times when you feel like you've written something for
Mm-hmm.
Afterburner or for Skull Crusher, but you feel that maybe I should wait? Maybe other band members don't agree, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should keep a particular song on hold and come back to it later.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had those types of experiences?
Actually, I don't have any problem with my bandmates, Skullcrusher Afterburner, because they're like open minded. If
Hmm.
I gave them this riff, there was like, giving ideas too. Like maybe we should change this to this. I was like, okay, now, it's better for a change, Like I have this riff, check it. Or I
Asa,
have this song. Can you uh put lyrics or a melody? It's give and take.
Hmm.
So I encountered any problem.
Okay. Okay. No, because usually what I have seen is that sometimes when bands sit down to
Mm,
write, sometimes the creative differences prop up, and that
mm,
takes time and extends the album cycle. So it's good that you haven't, had that issue,
mm,
because everybody seems to be on the same page. But sometimes,
mm,
regarding themes or a way to approach the
yeah.
album or to explain its concept, things
Mm,
take much longer. Um, so the there was a few other questions. So let me just ask you,
mm.
um, in either of these bands, besides, how do you feel about, like, maybe incorporating clean vocals?
Okay. Actually, uh, I have Spotify, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Spotify. So I was like, I did that Spotify account to upload
Hmm.
what I because I'm making
Yeah,
music,
you do
yeah,
solo
with
stuff as
with
well.
different genre. Like I'm experimenting. It's not thrash, it's not metal, you know. I'm trying to like create a like a clear voice. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem is I don't have a good voice. So yeah, I want to, you know, just you know, just for a change.
Yeah, because I mean, I think under your current Sand Viper name, right, is what
Yeah,
you're releasing the solo stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Because you've shown it in the group and it's actually quite good.
Thank you.
You know, this would be nice. Um, and the other thing I wanted to ask actually is, you know, when it comes to all your, when it comes to actually
Mm.
sitting down and getting the bill for the events, how does that work? Like, um, do you have to reach out to Vinod or other event organizers, or they come directly to you?
Uh, Vinod is like directly asking us, you
Oh,
know, yeah. Before, I met Vinod like years ago, like 20 before the pandemic. I met him because I think a friend introduced my band. I have this band, what you call this, incoherent band. Before I have
mhm.
this band, you know, after, because my first band here in UAE is Delubio, with my current guitarist now, Ron, is playing drums on that. Then we disbanded. I created this incoherent. Then a friend introduced us to Vinod. Then we played to his gig, metal night, something like that. It was like, hey
Yeah,
man, your band is tight. Then he always asking us like to play in his event. And then we disbanded again. And then Tentoy asked me to sing their songs, you know, in Skull Crusher.
mhm.
And I was like, are you sure? Maybe my voice is not fit on your music. No, let's try. So that's the start that I became their vocalist. And then created this Afterburner, you know, because I want to play guitar
Yeah, yeah, of
and
course,
sing.
of
So
course.
yeah, Vinod is like sending us message. Are you free this date? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And the like when it comes to actually performing live in front of all the people, um, have there ever been times where once you're on stage and because obviously you must be reading
Mhm.
the room and understanding what sort of whether people are actually feeling it, you know?
Mhm.
So at some gigs, have you ever felt that maybe this isn't going the way I want it to, so let's change something up on the spot?
Mhm. No. Uh, every gig we played, it's always like 100%. Even there's two people, three people, or hundreds of people, same. You know, two people watching. They are watching because of you. They want you. You
Mhm.
know, they want to watch like 100% of performance. You know, so we don't change any like plans or something on the spot. We played as we were like enjoying ourselves, you know. So sometimes what I did, if the crowd is like, what you call that, lame, or
Mhm.
I like push them like smashing, you know,
Yeah,
so they can,
get into it. Yeah.
yeah.
But tell me something, Jason. When like for example, when you form new bands with
Mm,
maybe the same members, uh, do you want them playing the same positions, or like do you swap them around? Because I understand that right now your drummer also
Tentoy.
he plays guitar as well, right?
uh,
So
no, 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 no. I think Tentoy is like
he's
only
drums.
drums. Yeah,
Okay, okay. No, because like I think at one point you mentioned one of them used to play guitar.
yeah. Ron used
Yeah.
to play drums before.
Ah. So like when they have more than one musical talent, do you like, because obviously for certain bands you can swap at any time, right?
Yeah.
Because they know how to play said instrument anyway. So has there ever been a time where it's like, okay, you take over on guitar or you take over on bass and then the rest of them shuffle around?
Uh, so far, this time no, but in the studio when sometimes we're doing the rehearsal, yeah, we shuffle. I do the drums, Tentoy will sing, but
Nice.
during the live session, no, like no.
Nice. And also I wanted to ask, like, in terms of like you know having a day job and
Mhm.
um, how do you balance, like, does is there times when, say, you're at work but the in your head it's still riffs, and does that happen?
Yeah, yeah,
Like certain times you're just sitting in one spot and you just think of a riff then and there, and then
yeah. It happens. Uh, it's like when I was in like at work, like cleaning,
hmm,
it suddenly like pops up like a rips. So what I did is get my phone, record like you
yeah.
know, so I will not forget it. Then when I got home, get the guitar, then try that riffs, you know. But sometimes I'm so tired,
Hmm.
I was like want to lay on the bed, sleep. But my wife like, hey, get your guitar and play, you know. So I'm so thankful. My wife is very like supportive,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
that's
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
yeah, that's it. Like if I think about any riffs or I will record, then get the guitar.
Yeah, but otherwise it goes away.
Yeah.
Um, and like when it comes to writing, yeah,
Mhm.
um, do you uh, use tabs? Do you tab it out by hand or?
I did that before, but it's a pain in the ass. It's very hard. So what I did, I record, the track, because if I've heard that, I know where to play it on the guitar. So it's easy. It's
Hmm.
easy now because you can record at home.
Yeah.
Before going, you will rent the studio per hour. Now
But do you use Logic or you using Guitar Pro?
I'm using Reaper.
Ah,
Yeah, the trial.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, because a lot of people I know use Logic. That's why.
yeah,
But Logic also is expensive.
true. That's why I'm, you know, Reapers. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway,
I remember before all this when people used to literally use GarageBand.
yeah, before GarageBand.
Yeah.
Well, I want to try Logic, but maybe someday.
Yeah, from what I've heard, apparently it's quite easy.
Yes,
Just tab things out
that's
because,
what I heard. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. Anyway, thank you, Jason.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, for me, one of the things I wanted to do. I didn't want to delve too much
Mhm.
away from, the writing process and the band
Mhm.
and all of that. I wanted to keep it more like that so I can focus on the metal.
It's good. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a pleasure, and you know,
Same
talking
here, bro.
to you, understanding your influences, understanding your
Mhm.
personality, all of that is quite nice actually. And you know, I will conclude this, and
Mhm.
hopefully we can have another sit down and
Yes,
delve more
absolutely.
into, like,
No worries. Yeah.
once said record or something
Anytime.
comes out. Yeah, thank you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. We'll see you again, huh?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. I'm already recovering, buddy, so it's
Uh,
okay. Because,
maybe
like,
next.
few days ago they told me
Mhm.
I could put my foot down. So I mean, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And you're ready to, smash again.
I prefer not being a table. I would like to book a table and not become a table. So I think I'm good for now. Once my legs have enough strength to handle my
Yeah.
body, then we will look at the others. But thank you for putting up your shows and
Mhm.
the pushing the scene forward, because I mean, live shows are still a part of what makes metal metal.
Yes. Yeah. True.
Putting those into perspective and giving your all every night
Mhm.
whenever you have a show, it helps the scene here especially develop and
Yeah.
personality. You know.
I think the scene here is, much better than before.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, you know, do you remember Desert Rock?
Mm, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I went actually to the final one.
Hmm.
Happened before they banned it for, I have no idea what.
Oh.
But then they started doing all the small solo gigs from there.
Hmm.
I think because that was actually the big last festival that happened. I think they banned it or they just shut it down. I don't know why, but up until then, there used to be quite a few bands. Like, for
Mm.
example, I remember Nerve Cell was
Yeah.
on the bill quite a few times at those festivals. And after them, I think people started recognizing that this place has a scene.
Yeah.
New
True.
bands were propping up from there. But because of, I guess, how volatile the perception is of our genre, um, a lot of people, I mean, let me just ask you this.
Hmm.
Do you feel that metal as a genre is still being stereotyped, or do you feel that people are more accepting of it now?
Now I think they're accepting it because, like what I've said, this last gig, there's new faces. Most of them are not like a metal girl, a metal boy. They were like uh what you call this? Exploring,
Mhm.
you know. And I met this guy from Sweden. He's on vacation here in Dubai, and he saw the Desert Inferno on Instagram.
Mhm.
So that's why he's there. And I met him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm planning to move here in Dubai because of this." I was like, "Really? It's so hot here." You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting better.
yeah,
Uh,
because, like, honestly, for me, even starting this podcast, because of the background that I've had,
mhm.
I have seen people, a lot of more people now are a lot more open as to what metal is.
Yeah,
Like, for me, when I was in university also, I used to not really open up and tell people that I enjoyed metal
yeah.
because I wasn't sure of the reception I was going to get.
Mhm.
So I used to keep the metal in the car, And then in the college, I used to go and people used to blast EDM and all of that, and I
Yeah.
okay. And then slowly, I think more towards my final year is when I was
Mm,
like, yeah, no, I've had enough. Let me start showing people what metal is.
yeah.
And then I started showing people, and their ears started growing, and
Nice.
it yeah. And for me, if you've noticed, even in our metalheads group, I don't tend to stick to the old
Mm,
stuff that bands are posting. If you
mm,
see, I always post that, oh, this is new, that is new, check this out,
yeah. That's
Be-
nice.
because at the end of the day, you have to also promote what the bands are doing new to push the sound forward.
True. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you too.
We'll have another sit down soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
No
the
worries.
time, I will.
Anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'll get more questions so we can have a longer chat. I don't even know
Yes.
what time we started, but it feels like we got through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Just
you.
tell me when, then you can do
Yes.
it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Get well soon, huh?
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Then I'll see you again.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you.